Sometimes I think about how much we hide just to survive. Not just in the obvious ways, but in the everyday rituals. The coded way we speak, the smiles we stretch over pain, the parts of ourselves we tuck away for safety, for acceptance, for peace, even if that peace is fragile. There's a quiet fatigue that comes with it, a kind of emotional erosion, a muscle memory that builds up over time. This constant negotiation between authenticity and self-protection. You wake up and begin calculating, who can I be today and who must I not be? It is tiring, and honestly, it's also boring. Not in a cute, ironic way, but in the way your soul starts to yawn from repetition. We learn to micromanage ourselves, to suppress instinct and exaggerate diplomacy. We edit our tone, we smooth our edges, we rehearse what part of us might be safe to show, and what parts are best left unsaid. It is exhausting, but yet so normalized. Our stories don't always come with healing arcs. They don't trend. They don't go viral. Our stories exist quietly, between threads, in journals we don't finish, in group chats we leave on mute. They don't fit into campaigns or infographics. Some days they are just about making it to the next one, and that's okay. Not everything needs to be a breakthrough. Not every pain demands a performance. Some of it just is. So if you're here listening, really listening, thank you. This episode doesn't fix anything. It doesn't offer 5 steps to mental wellness. It doesn't pretend that mental health is something you can tidy up with a planner, a playlist, or a Pinterest board. There is no morning routine that undoes systemic violence or the quiet grief of erasure. There is no affirmation strong enough to dissolve a world that keeps trying to erase you. It just holds space for the ache, for the confusion, for the long pauses and tired silences, for the weirdness of being both resilient and unraveling, for the days when brushing your teeth feels like progress. I remember one night during Harmattan season in Abuja, I had a breakdown so quiet, it felt like I disappeared. No shouting, no tears, just a kind of stillness that felt dangerous. Like if I stopped breathing, nobody would notice until much later. And even then, only maybe. And I think what made it even lonelier was how invisible it looked from the outside. The outside was functioning, but my inside was vanishing. I think about that night a lot. Not because it was dramatic, but because it was not. I brushed my teeth. I set my alarm. I replied to someone's meme with love. Or my favorite sticker, I think. But inside, it was just dust, static, an entire desert where my feelings would have been. That's the thing. Sometimes the worst moments don't come loud. They come dull. They come dressed like ordinary days. Mental health for we queer folks is not a trend. It's survival. It's showing up with all the weight you carry and pretending it's not heavy. Sometimes survival looks like masking until the mask cracks, until the makeup smudges, or the voice falters, or the body just says no more. Sometimes it looks like a random laugh in a WhatsApp group, while your heart is caving in and nobody can tell. Sometimes it looks like eating breakfast. Sometimes it looks like not showering. Sometimes it looks like quietly making it to tomorrow. But let's talk about shame. Not the loud, explosive kind that gets attention, but the quiet, persistent kind. The kind that waits until you are alone. The shame that follows you like a shadow. Quiet, familiar, and patient. It doesn't yell. It doesn't demand. It just lingers. It shows up when you are doing okay, whispering, remember when you weren't. It's the moment you start to feel proud and suddenly something inside you recoils, unsure if you're allowed to celebrate. It hides inside compliments when someone says you are strong and all you can think about is how you cried yourself to sleep 3 nights ago. It hides in silence. In those long awkward moments after you disclose something vulnerable and the person on the other end doesn't know what to say. It thrives in expectations. When you are praised for being resilient, but inside you are begging to fall apart without being judged for it. This shame convinces you that your struggle is embarrassing, that asking for help is weak, that other people have it worse, so you should just cope better. This shame says, don't talk about this, you will sound ungrateful. You will sound dramatic. You will make people uncomfortable. And so you shrink. You apologize for hurting. You stay quiet. You are quiet not because you are okay, but because shame told you to make your pain more palatable. You see, that shame, it's a liar. But of course, it's a liar that knows you well, too well. It uses your own memories against you. It borrows your voice. It gaslights your joy. And it is very, very exhausting. Shame thrives in silence, in secrecy. It hates being named, so I will name it now. It is okay to be tired. It is okay to not want to get out of bed. It is okay to be queer and struggling. Your suffering, your struggles does not make you a failed version of yourself. It makes you human. It makes you complex. It makes you alive. I am not polishing mental health for you, or teaching, or explaining, or debating. I'm here to sit in this mess with you, to tell you this is hard, and that is valid. Because sometimes that is where healing begins. Not in fixing what has been broken, not in explaining what you don't understand, but in being seen, in being witnessed without a need for resolution, without pressure to make sense, without the urgency to bounce back. So if you ever feel your story is incomplete, if you ever feel if your healing feels non-linear, if you ever feel tired, if you're still healing, if you're not even sure you want to heal right now, that's okay. You're not alone. You don't have to end care by being inspiring. You don't have to package your pain for it to be legitimate. You don't have to perform your struggle to be believed. You don't need a glow up. You just need space. Sometimes, just surviving is sacred work. Just survive. Next time on When We Unite, we will talk about intersectionality, how race, gender, and queerness tangle together when we speak about mental health as a real reality that doesn't always have neat labels. We will hold space. We will ask questions. We won't rush answers. But for now, take a deep breath. Or don't. Just be. Just exist. And that's enough. This has been When We Unite. I am Madam Kelsey Brooks. Be kind to yourself, even when it's boring. Especially then. Especially when nobody is watching. Be kind to yourself.